Alrighty, howdy my fellow bozo sapiens. It is time, he's here. robo-ky, one of the, how should we put this? One of the fan favorites of the franchise for sure, since Guilty Gear XX series. It's gonna be another one of those bounty hunters traditional DLC release events where we cram the card of tonight full of robo-ky as much as possible. So we got a lot of robo matches planned for today, 8 in total. Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting. My name is Kyuke, and you are currently watching Bounty Hunters, a 1st to 7 show match event for Guilty Gear Strive. Yeah, you know who's gonna be the star of tonight's show. Not any single player, but the whole community rocking that robo. With of course one super high level match looming at the end of the event. I just had to include one match that was between basically 2 players who are hopping on for the first time, Charvos and Oxa. I think we had one more newcomer tonight as well. Yeah. In the slot number 4, we also have Bibah Jam with the other new DLC addition to the game. That'll be a fun match, pitting like 2 newest characters against each other. But yeah, tonight's card is going to be fairly aggressive. Other than the 2 testaments that we're featuring tonight in the first and the second slot, almost everyone on the card is, as per, of course, the character choices, are basically ape and or gorilla / rushdown oriented. Which brings us to robo-ky, of course. This character is a lot of fun, honestly. I've been playing him a bit myself, and he's really aggressive. Really demonic ability to mix your opponent up and also to run pressure with his on-demand guard crush and the like. For the meager cost of just 20 electricity, which isn't too bad, because a lot of your combo enders are going to be generating a lot of it. And of course you have your trusted old electricity mat, 30 electricity on demand if you are left to your own devices. It's an interesting mechanic. I guess robo-ky one of the few characters in the game who like you just can't really afford to let him do his stuff, because he gets progressively pretty strong. Like if we're comparing like 0 electricity robo to full electricity robo, yeah, there's a lot of juice. So you kind of don't want to let him just stand on that mat, generating I think a fun, very Guilty Gear-like sort of gameplay loop where you have to advance on him, but he's also going to advance on you very, very, wants to do that for sure. I guess what he pays with is below average 6B privileges, so anti-airs are a little iffy and or situational. And pretty poor defensive options, I would say. You're basically looking at a character with, I think, most of your quotations points allocated in offense, and some ability to play neutral, of course. You got some really good buttons with like 5 heavy that converts really easily into electric buildup. And when electricity is available, he also has like pretty good neutral presence, I would say, with missiles. Like level 3 missiles basically beat other standard projectiles, and if blocked, they can be followed up by just running in for pretty massive frame advantage and getting your game started like that. Yeah, I think robo-ky is pretty fun to pick up, since like he has like there's this dichotomy in his game plan, I would say. There's like, he's pretty plug and play in the mix-up department. Like standard day 1 mix-up arena is pretty easy, but he also has a lot of depth. Probably haven't, like the community probably hasn't even discovered all the nasty demonic shit yet. There's like the guard cancel stuff, which you can definitely run a basic game plan on, just pressuring with your guard cancel. But then you can also rely on the pony, which requires a little bit of control, but not too much. But then there's a lot of nuance where, like, you can, you don't necessarily have to start with the pony. You could do something like a traditional Guilty Gear Strike BRC stuff into jump in jump slash, high-low, then cancel into pony and do it all again. There's like a lot of layers to robo-ky mix-ups that you can do if you're willing to lab it out. But I think like a lot of the basic guard cancel looping stuff into strike throw and just basic pony mix-up Burrino should be available to our players today, depending on, of course, how much they've been labbing, because this is what, like, day 4 at the moment. Yeah, something like day 4. So we've only had a couple of days to lab stuff out. Yeah, card full of robo-ky. Let's take out the first. Let's take out the first card, because I think. Well, initially we had some scheduling pressures to get the first 2 matches out of the way as soon as possible, but I think Spooky said that it's actually not that big of a deal. So like we could start now, or we could start at 5 p.m. CEST. Let me just message Yappie and Rygand that we can definitely play whenever, and we can yap all the way till we got our players in the lobby. There's probably a lot to yap, and I've been like pretty much non-stop labbing Robo myself. I think labbing, as is customary for QK, labbing twice as much as playing actual matches. So there's that. It's probably a lot of stuff to yap about. A lot of stuff that I'm gonna remember as we go, as it comes up. But yeah, first match is, we have two Robo Mirror matches coming up after this, and then the rest of the matches this evening are gonna be X character versus Robo, and of course the non-Robo match at the end, which is probably our highest seed match of the evening. As per usual, since this is day 4, it's disclaimer, it's been a little difficult to evaluate like what the actual like skill level of the players is. We don't have like puddle farm data, we don't have ranked data exactly saying like what is your current skill level. So the matches can be the matches are wild card picks through and through tonight. Let's put it like that. Anything can happen, but as per usual, we try to sort of match. We try to match like players based on their ability on their mains or like a couple of their top characters. Sort of rank them by that. Maybe give them like a gut feeling this player might do good with just a couple of days of labbing, and then trying to sort of running my magic algorithm, trying to adjust like, okay, so maybe they're like around this kind of like skill range, and maybe we can match them against this player. So there's a lot of stuff to think about. But hope we're gonna have some good matches tonight. I mean, generally the DLC release events on Bounty Hunters have, I guess there's a bias for the non-DLC team to be up a little bit more than the DLC team, which makes sense. But we have definitely games back and forth, and sometimes the release character plus DLC character, release character. Sometimes the new character is just like very plug and play and strong. And I think even though Robo definitely has sort of weak points, especially on defense, I think defense is probably easier to sort of. The defense is easier to solve with just GGST fundamentals, right? So if you're a strong player on your main, you probably understand the general gist of how to fight basic Guilty Gear, strike throw and stuff like that. And even if Robo doesn't really have any reversals to name, like not even his supers, It absolutely has nothing. If you wanna spend juice on defense, it's gonna be your universal mechanics. It's gonna be YRC. It's gonna be the other non-meter options. It's gonna be deflect chill. It's gonna be burst. Your backdash. And hey, at least the Robo has like 5-framer both on his 2P as well as 5P. So you can kind of choose to jab high or jab low with your 5-framer depending on the situation. And that kind of works on anti-air situations, because I think Robo's 5P is like decent standing jab to anti-air with, to sort of compensate that his 6P isn't necessarily like the best. Like, it's serviceable, but I think the convertibility is the biggest option. I think if you don't have, like, if you don't get a counter hit with your 6P, it's really easy to like misconfirm. I'm not completely sure like how I would optimally confirm anti-airs with Robo myself. And of course there's too heavy. The knee missile is pretty good at preventing opponents from jumping in, but it's more of a, I think it's pretty slow and it's very whiff punishable, so it's got its issues. Not necessarily a reaction anti-air, and if you miss it, you're probably gonna take a whiff punish, even from further away. So definitely, yeah, nuance to some of his defensive options, or like you just have to rely on fundamentals. You don't necessarily let Robo just run the show for you with like one button to solve it all. So the first matchup of the evening, we got Rygand here, one of the seasoned veterans of the Finnish fighting game community. Rocking that Robo. I think the lore for Rygand was that he's been working pretty hard since the Robo release, so not a ton of time together with the character in the lab. So we're making the best of what we have so far. Of course, Rygand would be ranked probably one of the top seeds generally. So we're gonna have to see how this is gonna turn out. The opponent today, Yappie, running on that usual Testament, one of the sort of de facto zoners of Strive, along with likes of Axel Low. But just a little different than Axel Low, is a projectile zoner, which is, I guess, okay for Robo, because Robo's level 3 missiles do go through a lot of other projectiles. I'm not exactly sure how it interacts with Grave Reaper, but I think Grave Reaper should be probably beaten by level 3 rockets. And of course the 2 heavy is also a projectile as well, so you could technically clash projectiles with your 2 heavy if you want to. You can also throw projectiles from the air, so good idea to have different angles against projectile zoners that can do different angles as well, such as Testament can throw on the ground, can throw upwards, can throw from the air. Lots of different kind of angles that you can do your zoning from. Testament, of course, has that Arbiter sign, which is kind of like a ultimate counter zoning tool. So like if you try to hang back and fire rockets, timing on the Hungry Hippos is gonna snipe you. Although Testament can't really put a lot of pressure on you from full screen. So if Testament just hangs back and throws fireballs, Robo could choose to just sit on the electricity mat and charge up to 100 electricity. And that would make the next hit very, very interesting. All right, we got players in the lobby, ready to Robo rock and or roll. First one is gonna be between Yappie and Rygand.
Mankind knew that they cannot change society, so instead of reflecting on themselves,
Robo also has pretty decent range at neutral. I would assume that most characters wanna dash block at Testament, and if you're a character who has a decently far-reaching grounded poke, which I guess in Robo's case would be his 5 heavy, you can kind of check Testament trying to go from like S-Reaper into more projectiles. Like S-Reaper into Crow has quite a bit of gap. So if you don't mind the spacing, speaking of the devil there, starting with the 5 heavy right off the bat, getting cursed as well. Rygand takes the curse. Ooh, but the teleport behind. Switches into another quick possession. Gets a counter hit close slash Rygand. Quick with a burst, trying to keep Yappie in the corner, checking them with that Arbiter sign, like we said, really fast projectile, or not really like a projectile at all, it's more of a strike that just manifests on the other side of the screen. With a safe jump, of course, Robo, having no access to reversals whatsoever, is gonna take the full brunt. Oh, was a little off on the meaty setup, unfortunately. Robo does have a lot of different kinds of meaty power. You could use your... Oh, well, that thought we get a 6 heavy counter hit right off the get-go. Fireball hits it, kind of, I think, almost like faking the teleport there. Because Yappie is one of those Testament players who loves to teleport around. Speaking of which, into the curse pop, 2p2p. Setting up the mat, which is ever so important. You can, most of your knockdowns, ooh, the Crow hitting a little weird there. Not putting Rygand in the corner, mixing it with the pony. RC, we can definitely take a walk break here. And a lot of resources in the tank for Rygand now. Sending the level 3 missiles, which, as you can see, Yappie blocks it and immediately has to yield all sorts of retaliation. That is so plus the level 3 missiles if you have access to level 3 on Robo. And the thresholds on the sort of electricity gauge, which you can see above Robo's tension bar there on the bottom right. I think the 21 electricity marker moves you from level 1 to 2, and then the 61 marker moves you from level 2 to 3. And of course, the higher the level, the more potential your special move has. Basically, the guaranteed curse into tap 5D, which you can confirm without spending tension here on Testament. If you get that curse applied, another curse loop, a little bit too far for the 5 heavy here. And Rygand smartly avoiding the crowd. However, Yappie was ready to snipe the escape from the corner. Very nice. I think it's probably gonna be a really important thing for Testament to do this season 5, because you no longer get like free plus frames from your basic pressure loop. In the previous patches, you could do something like S-Reaper,
Duel 1.
Into Crow, into Strike, because Crow is plus, then trigger the curse, then charge up your fireball, be plus, and then throw Crow again, and just loop that. But you can't really exactly do that anymore, because Crow is not plus, and I think Charged Grave Reaper is not plus either. Nice, Rygand with a pretty decent conversion, goes for the... What should we call it? The launcher from a little too far away. I want to call it like the hip thrust. But I guess it's more known as the launcher. The guard crush thingy. After taking another round here. Backing off and starting with the 6 heavy, once again hitting big. That is one of the better starters for Testament this batch, I would say. Got them below. And the high, choosing to take a little bit of extra damage instead of setting up the shop. Rygand in with the Robo, sends the YOLO scooter, finds the hit, but again, this time the problem is definitely not the timing. The timing looked good, but Yappie did have 50 meter to go for the Calamity 1. A huge privilege here. It is one of the weaker reversal supers in the game, but against somebody like Robo who has no access to reversals whatsoever, it's gonna be a nice thing to have. I forgot how good Robo's jabs are. I think Calamity 1 is so slow that you're generally able to like safe jab it even with a perfectly placed close slash, if your close slash is very standard. I think Robo's jabs are also 9 frames of recovery, so that should be potentially good safe jab option as well. Although I guess, oh, that's, by the way, that's a double. I didn't even see it. That was a double curse there that Yappie was able to build. One Curse on board with the drive-by jump K. Doesn't quite manage to start the pressure. Rygand fights a 2K 2D, convert into the missiles. Basic loop, can we keep the opponent in the corner? Ooh, the jump, the far slash is a little slow though. I would say Robo's 5 slash is maybe a little bit akin to like, whatchamacallit, like Baiken's far slash. It is fairly fast, not quite 9 frames, but 10 frames with a little, like a reduced reach. So it doesn't quite reach far around start, but it is, I think, like faster than average, or like around average far slash. But to compensate, Robo has the 5 heavy, which is like a huge far range bow. Ooh, got them with the 2S into Scooter. This is where the party starts. Yappie not quite willing to respect here, which is understandable, especially these like early day characters. Oh, that was nice. Aggressive dash under the crow. Collides with the up teleport. Ooh, was trying to rev up the 2 heavy, the knee rocket, but it's a bit of startup there. Darcy conversion, finds a 2S, frame trap, lots of juice in the tank. Matt basically giving Rygand full charge here. Escape from the corner with the possession. The ever-present RPS if you get what. Oh, nice, I love that! Got there just before the crow went off. Which is exactly what you want to be doing against Testament. Just S-Reaper block. Ooh, missing the crow. That was probably not the input that Yappie was trying to achieve with the cross up there from Rygand. Starting to look a little bit better. Rygand getting warmed up slowly. Dashing into the crow. Taking a small conversion there. But of course, the sort of a reward department favors robo-ky overall if you do manage to get in. Conversion from the 2K into the girls. This shouldn't kill yet, I don't think, because Yappie doesn't quite have the other steak of butter ready to go. Finds another hit. With an OTG side, takes a 3 in a row here. Yappie is, of course, very solid at the around the entry-level Vanquisher rank, which I think most of our Robo players probably not quite able to reach Vanquisher in just a couple of days. I know Detada was one of those Robos who were able to get the bank right off the bat. It's pretty impressive. Starting with the curse. Ooh, nice jump K air to air here. Taking burst from Yappie. Of course, the level 2 missiles will normally clash with Grave Reapers, as God intended. Counter 5 heavy. Ooh, that's actually pretty nice. Cost a bit, but did get Yappie the corner position though. Now, standing on the mat, Yappie doesn't have any defensive resources. No burst. Ooh, with a Scooter. Scooter minus 14 on block. Gotta be really careful so that you don't misconfirm into it. Can definitely use it as a Hail Mary frame trap after your poke strings if you have the stamina to back it up. Basic projectile zoning from Testament. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. If you're just barraged by those projectiles, there is an option to just take out the mat full screen and just stand on it. Like, what is Testament gonna do? I guess they're gonna curse you, but like, how much are you scared of it? With a Finnish shimmy, aka the neutral jump, baiting out the throw there from Yappie. Rygand with a massive life lead here this game, or rather this round. With the burst to combine with it as well. There we go, frame trap into the Scooter. Yeah, the Yappie has been pressing a lot of buttons, not really respecting those frame traps, so Rygand has gotten a lot of value from even the most daring of the frame traps. Nice backdash and evades the throw. Once again, step 1, take the burst. And now, if we organically get in, that was really great dash from under the Hungry Hippos. Take up the mat. C into a throw. A little bit of spaghetti here. Switching sides, fixing the positional mistake. Here we go, level 3 rockets, and that's a hard knockdown if it lands on hit. No cancel here. Of course, 2K 2D string can be cancelled into the hip thrust, aka the launcher, aka, what is it called? Lucky launcher? Something like that. Which is your go-to pressure tool for your guard crush. Oh, it's actually Yappie who gets the air throw here. Ah, I like that's trademark Yappie string. Foregoing the last hit of, I think, is the jump D and going into a low or a throw. 100 electricity in the tank. So we definitely like to get into pressure range here. The double jump. Ooh, just barely misses with the jump heavy. That jump heavy is massive for robo-ky, but not massive enough to catch Yappie. It's just a couple of pixels too short there. It's a really interesting button for Robo. It cleaves basically from the front and from the back. It's kind of like a horizontal huge line. Not really any disjoint on it, but hits decently deep and more importantly hits from both sides. So it's kind of like a button that you can all-purpose press whether you're jumping in or if you're unsure where the opponent is gonna be at. Ooh, that was a really far-reaching 2S. Rygand has been using the 2S at neutral really well, getting there and interrupting those startups of the Grave Reaper. That was one of the newest patch changes as well, or quotations recent patch changes where Grave Reaper no longer has like a god disjoint on its box. It actually naturally extends itself. With the late PRC catching them with a classic high tech, kind of like the scooter or late PRC. It's kind of like whatchamacallit, stun dipper late PRC. You can kind of use it like that, if you will. Ooh, nice deep dash into a 2 heavy. That's an anti-air tool that you can access really. Oh, where the bird going? And going with the FRC, Yappie, even if they wanted to go for a burst, the FRC just so hard to react to. In the heat of the moment, you might not have time to actually go for it. And of course, a lot of robo-ky's optimal RC conversions are into the FRC 2 heavy into a mat. So it's really hard to burst really fast in really reaction to the RC when you see it, even if you want to. Triggering the curse here, frame trap into 5 heavy. That's gonna be nice little damage and a curse. There we go, the aggressive dash, and Robo seems to have enough movement speed to run under those Arbiter signs. I think Robo is faster than Sol. So that's definitely a good feature to have in this matchup. Ooh, got an accidental close slash anti-air there as Rygand was dashing over. Conversion from the 2K curse, reapplying it. So in a really nice position here for Yappie. Frame jump into 5 heavy, sorry, far slash. Maybe a little too far to convert. But with the hard knockdown, working the corner nicely with basic stuff. Grave Reaper, into more pokes, into more fireballs. Basically saying, okay, I'm just doing the layer 1 thing. What are you gonna do about it? You don't have reversals. You don't have any low profiling tools. Even though Robo 2D kind of looks like it would be an advancing low, a slide, it's really not. It is advancing, yes, and it's a great button for pressure, yes, but it has absolutely no low profiling box whatsoever. It's basically his standing hitbox, or either hurt box when you use that. There we go, using the pony as an escape Tatsu kind of a thingy-majig. A lot of different applications for the pony. If you are at level 2, you can use it for pressure. Oh, but got the burst. Missing with a close slash, unfortunately, but on the whiff, finding a big counter hit. Here come the girls. And Yappie has so many resources. Oh, Burr's actually the Calamity one as well. Does this apply curse? No, it actually foregoes the curse. I think Yappie's idea was that, thought that Rygand would go down. With a nice BNB combo. Yeah, Rygand has struggled a little bit pulling out the basic BNB stuff so far, but if we manage to get that very standard day 1 BNB combo, it's gonna look much better. Starting with a far slash, catching Yappie trying to dash forward. Loading a little bit of that electricity as well. Far slash hits far and wide for Testament though. was a little bit too close. Starting with a close slash. Frame jumping into 5 heavy. But no fish. Can't evade the crow. Looking for the double curse. Double curse is on. Pog. Huge double explosion. But Rygand doesn't give a fuck. We're going for a mash and into a B&B combo. Look at the damage. That's not too bad. Rygand was probably trying to bait the YRC. Has seen that Yappie kind of likes that option. But the... I wonder if the 9-frame recovery is not enough to actually bait it. I forgot what the frame data of YRC is actually. Got them to 6 heavy. Got the curse as well. Rygand will have to think about the bursts. This is not gonna kill. But we are going into a mix-up. This could be a very simple... No, we're just going in. And Rygand loads up the gold burst and we convert. That was... I think that would have actually converted. Oh, look at that! Rygand with the... There's no pixel! There's no pixel! That is virtually nothing left. We take those. It was so close to a... What is it? Double KO. Rygand will happily take that. I mean, even if that was a double KO, I think it would have been literally the same outcome for Rygand. Because if you're up around, you actually don't win. You have to, like, get like a legit win without doing a double KO if you want to end the game in Guilty Gear franchise. That's a big pop again. Switching sides. Nostrovia, cheers! Down it. Definitely downing it here, missing with the 5k and a big frame trap. I think, yeah, Rygand doesn't have, like, barely doesn't have enough time to get the burst out. Literally the last hit of the combo building up to the full burst. It's looking brutal. Rygand getting one of the harder opponents this week. And unfortunately having only so much time to lab the new character. So it's looking dire here.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Can we muster some sort of strategy? Starting with the 6B? Yeah, might as well. Very good response to like a lot of those far range standing pokes for Robo. Far slash and both far slash and 5 heavy do go down to the low profile frames of 6B. Ooh, got them with the missile. And while you do have the level 3, it's actually a pretty okay way to reset your pressure as well, just slamming them with the level 3 rockets on block. 6B does reach. Rygand waking up with the throw. The meaty timing hasn't quite been there for Yappie, or perhaps has tried to go on for a lot of meaty throws. Quotations meaty throws, as much as that thing can be a meaty in Guilty Gear Strive. Sniping it with the rocket. Ooh, and naughty was trying to throw a projectile. Rygand sniping that with 2S. I love that. Especially because Yappie has been waking up with that 6B quite a bit. So Rygand is like, okay, I'm gonna run as far as I can. I'm gonna space myself. I'm gonna go for the 2S. Ooh. But a nice throw here. Lucky break. We definitely need all that we can take. Trying to instant air dash. However, the crow, the angle is just too good. The 2P max here, even though Rygand wasn't quite able to convert, really important to get the curse off of you. Nice conversion. Drop him with 5 heavy in the corner. One hit confirm into Calamity 1. That, I think I know what happened there, but we take those, as we say in the industry. Ooh, the 2 heavy actually launches a little bit too high, so the scooter goes past. Oh, there we go! Diving under with the 2D, and that should be Rygand's game to take still, maybe? Level 3 rockets. Another one. Ooh, gets sniped by the Cal. No. Good block on Yappie, blocking the level 3 projectiles, and since Rygand fired that from an airborne position, didn't quite have the time to recover and get in. Set point once again. Can Rygand get on board? It was so close. No confirm on the close slash. Small one on the follow-up hit. Charges up the S-Grave Reaper, the 2D, no cancel. Small punish by Yappie. 2S does not quite reach from Rygand, and that's it. No, not quite. Takes the throw, but not enough. The 2S from Testament, a little bit faster than the Robo 2S. I think that's like is that 11 frames versus 13 frames or 12 frames, something like that. Yappie taking it with a clean sweep, being one of the top seed players of the evening. But remember, this is only day 4 for Team Robo. Next up is gonna be Sunny versus Spooky. So I think this is another interesting circumstance for Spooky, because we are in the North American East Coast soil again, as far as I've understood. So technically a match that is usually Europe to Middle East is now Europe to East Coast NA. Hope the connection gods will bless us with a good one. Alright, all Robo arms aboard. It's gonna be one of our 2 Robo mirror matches. At least these ones should be, I guess, categorically even. I mean, the matchup is even, of course, but there could be a lot of, as you know, Guilty Gear is known for, a lot of player expression. There is probably gonna be a lot of expression from these day 4 robo-kys here, between Sunny, who is usually also a Testament player. Or did Sunny start picking up a different character recently? I forgot. I think Sunny's been playing Testament as of recent. But yeah, now both of these fellas on that robo.
Cannot change society. So instead of reflecting on themselves, they blame the peace, heaven, or hell.
Let's add the colors also on the name. So Sunny is rocking the white robo, and Spooky is rocking the black robo. I don't can I actually fit the. I don't think I can fit the color in Spooky's name. But let's put it in Sunny's name. So now we got white robo, Sunny versus black robo on the right, piloted by Spooky. Here we go, punish on to the scooter. Got with the air-to-air jump slash. Jump slash usually like more useful for mix-ups, because it is a very lucrative button to press for sure, but has very limited hitbox. Lots of hits, lots of mix-up capabilities, but it doesn't hit very deep, and it has only limited amount of horizontal range. Now Spooky goes for the command grab, and then with a I guess idea being like a neutral jump shimmy here, catching Sunny pressing buttons there, starting with the far slash. Can't reach round start unless the opponent is pressing their buttons and extending into it. And I forgot if Robo's 2D is 10 frame start, but I'm not sure if it reaches round start at frame 10. So Robo's own far slash might actually be able to beat it. With an aggressive burst here. Spooky working with the pressure, catching them with the 2K2D. A quick one. Robo is like one of the... I want to say one of the better 2K2D characters in the game, especially if your opponent doesn't have a reversal. 2K2D into Lucky Launcher, such a great string to just force your opponent to take pressure. I mean, they can FD against it, but if they don't, you're basically in their face and forcing a guard crush +6 kind of a situation. Ooh, nice movement from Sunny. The air missiles from Robo are, if you miss with them, are very, very dangerous. Extremely good on block, but if they miss, you go into basically counter hit recovery and landing recovery as well. So running under, very lucrative kind of business. Ooh, Electricity coming in from the shocker. Fast RC into 5D to take the round. Spooky definitely on a very robo-ky adjacent kind of game plan. Plays fast, plays furious, definitely what robo-ky is about. And then we see the hip thrust them into the sky. Yeah, he definitely thrusting for he knows. Such a good move. Sunny countering with the round start 5 heavy. 5 heavy does have a little bit of recovery, a little bit of extra. I think Far Slash was something around 20 frames, and then 5 heavy something like 25 if memory serves correctly. So rather whiff punishable if you whiff with that, but then again it's one of those moves that why are you whiffing your 5 heavy? It's such a massive button. Don't whiff it. Kind of a deal. Ooh, working with a really nice combo. Instead of going into the scooter, setting up the Oki with a missile, players using the resources tries to mount on the pony from very far distance. However, there might have actually been a level 1 pony there, which is very slow. Or was it level 2? Either way, the distance between you and the opponent, they can definitely react with anti-airs or whatever they want to go for. Backdash doesn't quite get in there to whiff punish the 2D. Early burst from Spooky here. Snipes. Sunny snipes with an instant air dash jump slash, and now, ooh, nice bluff there. 2D into the mat. I think still punishable just as like a raw 2D is, but if the opponent is expecting like a frame trap into Lucky Lounger or even like a scooter, ooh, late on the punish. The scooter, because of the nature of how the scooter works, this move or the Segway or whatever you want to call it, because it's multi-hit, it is always minus 14. Cannot really make it any better, even if you're trying to make it meaty. Ooh, this might actually hit. The horse is in the sky. And spends all of the juice as well. So there's an option in this super for robo-ky to either release the last hit immediately so that it spends no electricity, but you can also spend all of your electricity gauge and then progressively add damage to your super. Really nifty feature. There's also some, like, whatchamacallit, some synergy there with his other super, the... I forgot what it's called, but the install super that makes you explode, that puts you basically on like a level 3 for the duration of the super, which kind of gives you a full duration of your super. Ooh, nice conversion from Sunny. Doesn't quite get the 5k pickup, maybe missing in a micro dash there. Ooh, nice choice of buttons there. Ooh, but that's a slow horsey. That's a Harurara. That's a slow-ass fail horse. I think out of... ooh, do we see that? No, can't guys. I already queued up the 5D. Sunny in a good position here. We got the mat, we got the counter. It should be a kill unless the 5k drops again. Was that might have been a level 1 Lucky Launcher. And you have to be very conscious of like when that electricity level is on 1, when you are under 21 electricity, those special moves are so much worse than they could be. I think that like the standard good threshold is to be on level 2 as often as you can, and then your level 1 special moves really aren't that great, but at least you get some utility from Scooter and the Lucky Launcher. Like Lucky Launcher can still be semi-safe, pressure ender, can combo into like a soft knockdown, and of course the Segway. Even on level 1, it does convert normally and gives you a lot of electricity. But the pony is like a... Level 1 pony is like one of the saddest special moves I think I've seen in the game so far. Because it doesn't move anywhere, you can't cancel it really fast. It's kind of like a float in place into nothing. So if there's one special move that you kind of want to avoid as much as possible on robo-ky on level 1, it's probably the horsey. Or the pony, or whatever you want to call it. Ooh, counter hit. However, the 6 heavy counter hit doesn't necessarily like get you like a natural super good combo. It just knocks the opponent down. I think you can pick it up with a pony, but not 100% sure. was 5B there, catching Spooky going for the instant air dash cross up. Starting with the BMB. Lots of electricity here. And the Segway, if the Segway is level 3, it actually inflicts a hard knockdown, allowing you to get both the mat and basically the Oki of your choice. Ooh, the 6 heavy hits, that's a hard knockdown. 2 heavy, missile Oki in, 2 guard crush, very standard stuff. robo-ky is a very non-standard kind of Guilty Gear Strive character in the sense that many other characters would like to start their pressure with a close slash. robo-ky though probably prefers 2 heavy more. Reason being, it is a projectile, so you can't FD out. There's barely any pushback. Because it has like million active frames, you can make it plus ungodly amount, something like plus 8, plus 9, or maybe even more, I forgot. And then it has no hit stop, so robo-ky himself can just like cancel really fast and like can cancel immediately into like a guard crush or like electricity mat. It has a lot of cool applications in combos, but also as a meaty tool. So instant air dash from the horsey. Sunny working it. But the 2D! The 10-framer bounces out of the corner. And Spooky momentarily gets a little bit of breathing room. Close slash counter hit. What can we cook? Nice combo. And the wall had just enough damage to get a wall break here. Sees the far slash coming out. We can poke that definitely. Slow down frames. First startup frames of far slash. Yeah, go for the K buttons and take the round. Good universal understanding here. Both players starting with the far slash with a trade. Sunny gets a jump in, into mat, into counter hit close slash. Misses the combo, but it's okay. She is still rolling down the hill, or maybe uphill here. 5k 6 heavy, slightly awkward. I think generally doesn't combo on robo-ky. I think opposed to many other characters who can do 5k into 6 heavy. And now, ooh, goes a little bit too close, misses that meaty attempt. Understandable, character has only been out for so many days. Takes a little bit of, a couple of days to get used to your character's meaty timings. Especially since, like if you try to meaty with your 2 heavy, which is like a 14 frame startup, I think. Very different from a close slash timing. But to compensate, it has a lot of active frames, so you can go for it a little too early, and it still probably hits the opponent meaty if you want to use it. And you don't even necessarily have to cancel the 2 heavy projectile into anything. You can produce lots of plus frames with it, and then afterwards pick up with buttons like, I don't know, your go-to close slash. If you're not yet familiar with all the ins and outs of robo-ky, you can still rely on the Guilty Gear Strive universals, which is like close slash into tick throw, close slash micro dash, close slash into frame trap 2S. Yeah, you know how it is. You know how it goes. Ooh, Sunny missing the meaty looking like. Spooky breaking out of the corner. Ooh, nice fight the anti-air. The jumpy, also very lucrative button for robo-ky, because he can convert into stuff like jump D into air dash into really huge combos if you have a decent hit going on, especially on counter hit, I think. Ooh, next to burst as well. Great read here for Spooky, and breaking with the many arms. Just needs to spin all the electricity as well. Now this is like somewhat akin to like what Abba has on her cash out super. Generally, I think the idea is that unless you kill, you probably don't want to spend all of your electricity generally. Because like you would like to have it on your Oki following it up. You do need the electricity to get the best out of your Lucky Launcher, your Guard Crush, as well as maybe having that level 3 projectiles. High level like missiles are probably like one of the like from my point of view, one of the meat and bones of your neutral presence. Like, you have good buttons, yes, but I think it's the missiles that puts the kit together at neutral. Ooh, nice frame trap into big counter hit. The wall breaks a little bit too soon though. Yeah, again the BRC forward, immediate cash out into super. Is this gonna go? Not quite. So the super that Spooky just used has an interesting feature of having a lot of corner carry if you choose to spend a lot of electricity. So it wall breaks from like surprisingly far away, which I think was what Spooky was trying to do here. Ooh, got far slash there instead of close slash. I think that's not what Spooky wanted. But the wire C towards the corner, really nice position. The very meaty 2 heavy projectile, producing million plus frames. Sunny gets in there though. Lounge, 2K. The 2D whiffs though. Interesting, right? It looked like a valid combo route to me. And now close slash, that's a counter hit. Can we go for the full cash out? Yes indeed, this will definitely kill. Boom, boom, boom. Lots of damage. Even kills before the last hit. Now this is gonna be a set point for Spooky. Definitely looking very comfortable here. Day 4 on Robo. Sunny? What do we got to say on Sunny's side though? There we go, getting the 5K pickup combo. Sunny has had some difficulties like getting the last K button to connect there at the end of her combos, but does get it now. This should be, ooh, install, okay. So level 3 available as soon as, or as long as the install is active. We're gonna explode. Ah, I noticed, Spooky noticed. What a gamer. Didn't just walk into the quotation blood explosion variant. Sunny might be on her last leg. No, we are just Ultra Instinct activated. Opting to not go, refusing to not go down just like that without a single point. Sunny on the board. At a perfect timing as well. This could, this could definitely be a comeback. I mean, we saw the successful B&B combo, which is one of the features that has been a little bit lacking there for Sunny. If we can get all of those B&B combos down, it's really great. Ooh, Horsey over the 2D here. Sunny's cooking. Into media again. Now, Sunny very low on the electricity, but so is Spooky. Any combo into Segway does fix you. Look at that. Spooky was basically out of electricity gauge, but even on 0. Oh, but that's gonna get hit right. Recovery, straight into the shocker, and a self-explosion. Can't pick up a combo out of that, I think. But Sunny is in a tough spot. The Segway frame trap does hit. Very late cancel here. Hail Mary catches and cashes out. Bar slash starter again. Sunny goes for the 5 heavy. Nice backdash out of the 5 heavy here. And as we said, the 2D from Robo, absolutely no low profile features on that, so cannot even go under 5 heavy. This might be the last hit. Looking for one more. Shocker! And that's gonna be it. That was from dash cancel as well, if I saw correctly. So Spooky with a decently well cooked robo-ky, utilizing a lot of different tools. Especially the command grab was a tool that we didn't quite see on the first robo-ky match earlier. But a very important component, especially of your guard crush pressure. It's the startup of the command grab is exactly 6 frames, which coincidentally coincides with the guard crush frame advantage, which is also plus 6. Very coincidence? I think not. I think that's exactly as Arc System works intended. So after your guard crush, you can dial, if you are in range, you can just dial straight into the shocker command grab, and it's gonna catch them doing basically anything but backdash and jump. Next one is gonna be between Fari and RageWolf. It's actually been super long time since we've seen Fari on Bounty Hunters. Usually a Faust player. Okay, I don't think I even need to message the players. I think they are in the lobby already. Ready to go, can play, can hit the go whenever desired. This is the other robo-ky mirror match. Two decently high-level players here. Fari, of course, Faust main and RageWolf. RageWolf has a couple of different characters, out of which the most notable I remember is Bridget. Also has Axel, I think. I'm not sure what RageWolf plays nowadays as a main, but I mean, this character is kind of cool. Look at the hair. This might be future main for a lot of players, actually. Very fun character to play for sure.
Robo-ky versus robo-ky.
So we'll see. We'll see how many of us are gonna stick with the character. Let's put the colors in there. So Fari with the pink and RageWolf with the purple. I almost said orange, but that is definitely not orange. Right, big counter hit into 2D segue. Even if you don't have like the most difficult combos down on this character, I myself made the mistake on day one of trying to just do optimals. But don't do that. Don't actually do that. robo-ky optimals are actually fairly technical and difficult. Just like simple close /2 S5 heavy into segue is a pretty decent day one combo. Ooh, look at that Fari going with the pony from very far away and low profile or high profiles under RageWolf's 2D. In this mirror, if both players are playing defensively, you're probably gonna see a lot of just, you know, taking out the electricity mat and standing on it in order to activate at least level 2. Ooh, a very late segue cancel here. Gets punished by Fari. Standing on the mat just a little bit, keeping the electricity nice and high. 1 mat of electricity, if you stand on it for the full duration, is gonna give you 30 charge. Whereas 20 is the magic amount that you generally spend, or basically all of your special moves are gonna reduce from your electricity gauge. So it gives you back more than you generally spend for 1 special move. Wire C, can we get out? Both players thinking about the throw! RageWolf still had the burst on deck. Lots of meter as well. Oh, don't cross the missiles! That could cause some unforeseen circumstances. The worlds might collide. The worlds might even explode. Nice, too heavy, keeping Fari in the corner. Of course, even on like normal hit, the too heavy anti-air is gonna be pretty lucrative if you can make it connect. Ah, but the whip punish here. Quick 1-2 into projectile. You can definitely play a little bit akin to Kai, as in just poke from afar and fire a projectile if you are about that life. But also, I think robo-ky's conversions into his version of Stun Dipper are also like way more easy to hit confirm than Kai's like sequences into Stun Dipper. robo-ky is kind of nice like that. No matter what you're poking with, like anything just naturally combos into the scooter. And now the cash out. Let's see that remaining hit points. But it still has a little bit. RageWolf smartly choosing to not spend the electricity so that we can maintain it for the pressure here. Ah, the jump slash! Big combo tries to go for a double. Comes down with the jump slash again. Mix-up city potentially. Very low on electricity though. Just two units short for the level 2, which you usually want to be at for Robo. But what Fari doesn't seem to be too concerned about that. We're just going in. No charging. Get the knockdown first. This will give available level 3s. It is a very interesting install super I think the community is not 100% agreeing how that super should be used yet. But it can definitely use in combos, as well as like if you're like relatively low on your electricity gauge, it can momentarily give you a burst of level 3s. If you like hit confirm a hit, then go into your install, go into little like a big bombo and route into maybe self-explosion and getting wall break like that. Kind of cool feature, like one of those one of those supers that can break the wall even though you use it during your combo, kind of a thing. But yeah, I don't think we have the perfect routing figured out yet for that. Okay, the shocker, giving RageWolf very nice amount of resources. That's a level 3 hip thrust, so that sends the opponent flying so high up in the air. I think both level 2 and level 3 give you combos, but especially the level 3 pumps them so high up. And RageWolf knowing the combo again, the 2D into the Lucky Launcher. That's exactly what you want to be doing. If your opponent isn't gonna be FDing, you're basically in their face and guard crushing. Yeah, that's a good punish. -14. And Fari with the right punish as well. You can get a close slash there and should take it. This character has some dope close slash starting combos. So works really well in the mirror match if the opponent cancels into segue willy-nilly without any resources. Got the hit, but no follow-up. But he's still trying to fight out of the corner. Close slash counter hit, use the burst. That would have potentially been a round. RageWolf had so many reasons. Look at that clean hitbox on the jump heavy. That hits all around that boy. That boy! And here come the boy. Segway, enough to break it. RageWolf 2 games up. RageWolf with a really, I think, so if we're looking for small differences here between the players, RageWolf maybe the resource management department really conscious of like keeping himself above level 2, or rather at level 2. As soon as you see RageWolf going like under level 2, takes out the mat and plays it passively, kind of checking if Fari wants to go in, and if not, well, we might as well take that free charge. Guard crush, yeah, YRC is a good option for sure. In the Modern Guilty Gear Strive patches, you can indeed YRC out of guard crushes. Wasn't the case in the past. Oh, Fari with the option here. Opportunity. Too heavy. Ooh, gotta be careful with that. Can only cancel into that if you're close enough to the opponent. I think Fari did say, or did lament it earlier this week, where the 2S and the 2 heavy are kind of like opposite functionalities from his usual main Faust, whereas Faust has kind of like the function of robo-ky's 2S in the heavy button, then on the opposite end, like where robo-ky would 2S, Faust's 2S is like the upwards raging function. So that's been a little bit of a mindfuck for Fari. Nice hit confirm from a 5P. 5 frame, nice high profile jab as we concluded earlier. Might be one of the better 5P anti-airs in the game. Oh, we got the whiff punish. We'll cancel into special moves though. Oh, got them on the landing frames. Yeah, and immediately look at that. RageWolf is basically like, I'm at level 1, take out the mat, stand on it, get level 2. Priority number 1. Because there's so little that you can like do actively if you're at level 1. Got with the missiles, with the knockdown, and here the fun starts going into segue. Immediate YRC from Fari. Understandable, this character is kind of demonic in pressure, but there is no juice left. No juice left to push the opponent away from the guard crush. And now, with the last bits of health here, can Fari flip this around? Holding the FD, that was definitely the right option here. But the guard crush clipping, even at far range, you can still like reasonably hold the opponent still. I think Guard Crush, the +6 into 2S, can be backdashed, can be jumped. But on the other hand, if robo-ky would go Guard Crush into far slash, that should catch the movement options. There's definitely RPS there, canceling into the pony, switching sides with the sexy jump slash. Ah, that can be used as a little bit of a shimmy as well. Cancel into pony in their face if they try to throw. That's a first class ticket to counter hitting. No cancel. Ooh, tried to cancel, but a little too late. Tapping them with the 5D full BNB combo. There we go. We're definitely gonna need those for Fari, so that we can flip them around. That's a big slowdown from the RC into 2 heavy missile, catching them from the special angle that many characters can't just access. I think the 2 heavy as an anti-air for Robo is a little bit akin to buttons such as like Lucy 2 heavy, Axel 2S, Bridget 2 heavy, that kind of moves. Reaches like at a very steep angle upwards, like above robo-ky. Angle that many other characters would have to go air to air for. That counter hit from the hip thrust. Fari choosing to spend burst here in order to maintain the real estate. Oh, goes for a neutral jump shimmy. RageWolf having none of that, scooping out of the air, and now RageWolf with all the real estate. Let's see if we can push into the corner. Yeah. The air missile's very, very prone to getting dashed against or getting aggressively advanced on. I think that's one like major difference between robo-ky and normal-ky. Normal-ky can like kind of comfortably throw like very steep angle air projectiles, preventing the opponent from running under. But robo-ky's like hand missiles, they move forward initially after the launch, like really aggressively. So it's really easy to dash under if you have like the hard read. The ground missile is like much better. It basically requires you to jump really early or instant air dash really early at Robo. Yeah, case in point. Exchanging. Oh, nice whip punish there. RageWolf on the warpath. Once again, the 2D into the hip launcher or hip thrust. Hip thrust plus launcher, hip launcher. I mean, launching from the hip. There we go, checking that with the 2S. The 2S is really nice because like it's a very delayed move after the guard crush. So if they try to do like any kind of delayed option, fuzzy throw, backdash, the 2S should catch them doing any of that. Fari in the top spot, catches a rocket to the face. Perfect angle for RageWolf there. Yeah, in the missile wars, I think the robo-ky on the ground is probably at a better position usually. The opponent has to be really, really far away from you if you want to hit them with the air missiles. I've actually like been a little disappointed in the air missiles maybe. Like my initial reactions, like after having played characters like Kai, Unica, like characters who have really good air missiles, robo-ky is, I think, not one of those. Like it has to be a really niche kind of a situation if you go for like an air missile. Like they're trying to whiff something from like semi-far away or catching a whiff punish from like semi-far away. Fari still with the corner, 5 heavy miss, go for it again. Setting up the mat. Leaving the mat, like, if you go airborne as robo-ky, so if you jump or backdash, he does not build any of that electricity while airborne. So you have to be actually physically standing on the ground if you want to take advantage of that recovery. RageWolf strikes. Could it be enough? And we can spend all of the electricity. Probably will. How much we have? We have so much. Yeah, that's a kill. That's a kill. Boom shakalaka. I think it's a really mad amount of damage that you get for being like full 100 electricity. But also it's like, it's kind of rare to be at that 100 as well. Because like a lot of your conversions would naturally use a little bit of it. Like many conversions will go into Segway or Lucky Launcher. So it kind of require you to hit confirm with like meter, RC, or then go for something like ABC super right away. Yeah, once again, the Robo on the ground with the advantage. That was a level 3 missiles as well for Fari. Okay, punish. Comes down with a bang. And looking for potentially one more hit. Nice backdash there, timing. Completely avoiding RageWolf's 5k. And now, oh, how have the launchers turned? Level 2 missile, still pretty okay for ending your pressure. Not plus though. Ooh, jumpy air to air. Bringing Fari to the ground. 100 meter available. This will surely be a cancel to super. Doesn't even need it. That was definitely an attempt to input it. Had the misinput 5 heavy come out. It's okay. It's enough. It's enough. It's day 4. It's okay. Chill. Not everything's gonna be optimized yet. Once again, RageWolf has that 5p anti-air down pretty damn well. Punishing the no cancel 6p, breaking out of the corner with the Segway. Nice amount of electricity recharge from that. Stagger pressure. Yeah, even though the 2S on block, the multi-hitting low, is quite minus naturally, there's of course a lot of things that you could cancel into. So you can be... Oh, nice IBFD pushing Fari just completely out of the pressure sequence. Oh, the limp missile. Not quite as limp as XX 0 level missile, but fairly flaccid, if you will, on the level 1 missile. Frame traps with the Segway and the late PRC a la Kai. Standing in there, the Mexican standoff. RageWolf is the first one to press the button. Can't quite kill yet, but any hit, even missiles, the level 3 missiles would be absolutely phenomenal for RageWolf. Yeah, fishing with it. And the grounded missile is gonna take the cake. No real way to go under that unless you jump. 2D definitely won't do it. Speaking of 2D into hip thrust, into the opponent's burst is soon to be gone. A little early there. I think the timing was okay, but the command grab for robo-ky is very limited in range. You basically have to be at a point blank distance, basically at a smelling distance of their breath. Players trying to linger on the mat as much as possible to keep the electricity levels high. Immediately YRC after the guard crush. No punish! Oh, tried to go for a 2P, but a little bit too far away. Here comes the jump. B&B combo. We got the electricity. The double jump, full straight into close slash. That's a big starter, and that's gonna be it for RageWolf. Definitely the Robo player who had the stuff under control this time around. Good game, says Robo. It's a really funny the exit quote there, or the exit animation. You tried your best, GG's. For the rest of the event, we are going to have Robo versus whatchamacallit, not standard characters, but old characters versus Robo sequence. So the slots 4, 5, and 6 are gonna be Robo versus existing cast. Out of which next one is gonna be Bibah versus Dr. Holiday. The players raring and ready to go already. The 2 newest DLC additions to Guilty Gear Strive roster. Jam, as her as her previous franchise iteration has been identified as that ultra silverback female gorilla. And Robo, not really far away from an ape or a chimp himself. Both these characters definitely love to be close and personal. Robo, when you have the electricity. Ooh, and then the mix. Did actually score a hit from the jump slash after the pony, but dropping it there. Holiday, working with, yeah, I love this. I love what I'm seeing already. Pretty stable looking BMBs. Can we get a 6P in there? Not quite. Floating straight into the far slash was that from Dr. Holiday. Starting with the 2D. Yeah, if you want the button that can actually reach from round start, I think you would usually go for the 2D option. It is quite whiff punishable though, so if your opponent is walking backwards, very prone to getting whiff punished. And Holiday, no breaks whatsoever. High electricity, oh, that's punishable, but if the opponent not ready to react or otherwise not in the know, can definitely slam with it. Bibah is working with all of the cards. He was probably expecting a burst there, which Bibah not quite yet ready to release. Lots of combo potential here. Still with the get getting card. Oh, okay, Holiday. Let's see what you got. Let's see the sauce. Level 3 rockets. That's kind of cool. So from the burst, we basically sent the opponent full screen range. And since Holiday didn't have the level 3 rockets available, he basically said, okay, I'm gonna use level 3 rockets in order to try to skip the neutral. I kind of love that option a lot. Because you're, like, if you are at your last, if you're trying to score for one more hit, then that's a really nice way to just skip neutral and or force the opponent to jump at you. Which, if you are a fighting game player, you might know that that's a pretty good position to be in. If the opponent is scared to play grounded neutral and is just trying to go over stuff. Ah, so tricky! That was a double pony stuff. I think you can only... Oh, okay. Round start super. I think this is gonna whiff. I thought I saw a backdash from Bibah. Oh, I see the idea. Was trying to chip kill. Yeah, I see the vision. I see the vision for sure. Into the guard crush +6. Ooh, the last normal of the sequence, finding a counter hit. Bibah. Quick air dash out of the corner. Misses with the pop ball. Leaves the mat behind. So, thing to know about the mat, if you activate it, it's basically thrown right in front of robo-ky. So if you back up even a little bit, like one back step, kind of takes robo-ky out of the mat range. And that's like important to know if your opponent is like approaching in on you, connects anything on block, projectiles, strikes, can push you off the mat like very easily. But now, Bibah, looks like we are moderately warmed up. The empty command dash into nothing there still gets Bibah the round. This is how it starts. Starting with the Geki. Holiday getting clipped here. Deflect Shield, a very nice option against Ryutsu, especially when it's carded. Yeah, like that, because that's such a nutty special move. Basically a special move that is both a easy to run meaty into plus frames, also work as a safe jab. It's absolutely nutty what that special move can do. Boom shakalaka, just like that. Holiday had some of the most dominant game 1 seen in the history of Guilty Gear, but then Bibah comes back just like that. It's like, okay, I was just gathering data. I was just getting started here. This is where the fun begins. Hold on tight, Usagi. We're going for a ride here. We're gonna disassemble some clankers. Ooh, the patience there. Doesn't even go for an anti-air. Just waits for Holiday to land into a throw. Got the frame trap. No cards on board, but we do have the 50. instant air dash. Jam does have her signature really good instant air dash crush-up option still available from older Guilty Gear games. Ooh, got them with a jump heavy into the launcher. The combo starter was a jump in, so that introduces quite a bit of combo gravity. A little bit harder to pick up. We have 100. Ooh, just slapped him with the dragon kick! Madness! Madness in his eyes! But sometimes you have to be a little bit mad. Missing with the super is also okay. You still get a little bit of value because that charges all of your stocks. Dragon kick is available. Oh, I like the idea. However, the spacing there from Holiday, just outside of Ryutsui range. Starting with the neutral jump, Gekirin again. Command dash under the projectile. Yeah, there you can. That's a really good showcase of how easy it is to bypass Robert Kyle's air rockets or air projectiles into the guard crush. Playing the strike option here. The guard crush into close slash is your basically call out everything but block kind of an option. If they try to jump, if they try to throw, if they try to backdash, if they try to mash, like everything gets called by a close slash. Minus, of course, inward reversals. Let's see, Holiday, waiting for the burst never coming! Baiting for it again, yeah. That's one way to play the burst bait RPS game. So neither player was necessarily wrong here. Holiday was like, I know if you want to survive, you gotta hit that burst. But Bibah at the same time was also, yeah, I know that you are baiting it, so let me just not hit that burst. Fishing with the 2D. Yeah, there we go, counter hit, but that was level 1. So the level 1 hip thrust, very lackluster. Actually, I don't think you can even combo out of it unless you get like a big counter hit. Not quite a wall break, but keeping up the pressure with the 2K 2D, and as long as you got batteries to go, 2K 2D is such a nice combination. Jam can't really do anything about it either without like 50 meter. Because then you can like, after 2D, you might want to turn your super, and if it's like, if there's any gap between the cancel, then you can reversal through it, but I think otherwise, like, it's not very easy to do anything about the sequence. Ooh, the Dragon Kick again! Will take Holiday into the corner, all of the charges, spending the Oki in order to charge some resources. Is the burst coming up this time? Okay, we're moving to a different layer. This time, I kind of like, even though this burst didn't work out, I like the evolution of the RBS. Because last time Bibah didn't get the opportunity to use the burst like at all, and basically became a Garfield. This time, it was like, okay, let me hit it. Maybe Holiday is moving to a different layer as well. Got them with the 2K. Yep. robo-ky has such a diverse repertoire of different kinds of meaties that lead into different kinds of options. Ooh, speaking of options. Ooh, that's a good trade into the hip thrust. Thrust them into the skies. Pick them up with the level 2, baby. Starting with the rocket. Yeah, that's very whiff punishable. Immediate burst from Holiday. Nice counter poke there. Catches with the massive range of Robos 5 heavy. Sitting on level 3. Okay, from a counter hit, goes into Pony, still can combo. YRC, can we get out? The female Silverback is out and about. The Ryutsui without the card is minus, not quite punishable. Ooh, the neutral jump over the super. OTG, not quite enough. The second hit might have actually been enough, so I think Bibah absolutely had to burst there in order to try to save his life. The downside of delaying your burst for a very long time, I mean, the upside is it forces your opponent to play the burst bait RPS, and if they love to bait bursts, then they're gonna give you some extra value without you having to do anything. But the closer your HP bar is to depleting, the it's the harder it is. Whoa, Ryutsui! Past the, what was that, the mat into something. Holiday strikes it back with a 6K. That's a rare button that I haven't seen very often. From a pony launcher into jump slash into some mix-up-arinos. Even if that's blocked, you basically have like a random amount of air hits. I think the maximum amount from the jump slash is 5 hits. And then you can cancel into jump heavy at any point, land, go into 2K for a low, go into empty throw, or just skip the jump slash altogether and with like a jump P or another button. Yeah, you have a lot of layers. Or then you can do this, what Holiday just did there. Straight into an immediate jump heavy. The reason this button is so relevant for robo-ky is that the jump slash, as good as it is as a mix-up tool, like when you basically have your opponent holding it, as good as it is for that, it's quite easy to 6P because it has very limited hitbox. But if you want to fix that, you can go for jump heavy instead. Ooh, that was dangerous. Landing recovery from the jump D here from Holiday. Pump the guard crush again, this time Bibah. Patient, blocking. Gets clipped, but not too badly. Ooh, Gorilla Puff. The key blast from heavens. Oh, that's not gonna be enough though. Here comes Holiday with the BMB conversion. I think the most solid robo-ky conversion so far from our participants tonight. Bibah lock and loaded, all of the cards on the board. Basically a royal flush, if you will. Getting a hit here would be nice, but let's see. Holiday has other plans. Reversal super. Let me play. Let me play the goddamn game. Boom. It's on the corner carry. Out of the corner, lots of damage as well. And now the mix-up Perino from Jam. Plus on block. Yep, don't you press a button. And then the fully carded Rygand also, when you clean hit it from that kind of distance, immediately breaks the wall. Oh, this could be the conversion. Ah, makes the burst! Holiday has been absolutely on point with the burst reads, or I mean, has been moderately on point, let's put it like this. Because Holiday has had a lot of like empty baits, or like baits that didn't actually find the fish, didn't find its mark. But overall, hasn't suffered too much because of that, hasn't gotten too punished because of that. And now, with a clean burst read, when it matters quite a bit, going up 6-1. Very, very tough situation to fight back from for Bibah. Barely misses with the pony jump slash. More where that came from. Launch them, break them, spend the juice, heart knockdown. And I think we had, we're actually at the level 1. So guard crush, not the strongest here before we get at least 1 electricity. Yeah, takes out that mat, realizes that Bibah is advancing on you. That's definitely something that you want to do against Robert Kyle. If they take the... Oh, which one is it? Is it the overhead? Is it the low? Ryutsu is so fucked up because it looks like an overhead. It kind of looks like Gekirin, or it kind of looks like a jump startup. But it is actually a low. Yeah. Silverback, baby. It's like nobody sees that. And the fucked up thing is there's so much variation between like what frame you're hitting the opponent with, between Ryutsui, Geki, command grab Ryutsui, command Geki, command grab into just normal buttons. There's just so much that Jam can do from the air. But I mean, that's kind of like a unifying point between these two characters. Both of them can have a really... Okay, parry stuff? First of the set? 100% landed. Close slash, yeah, it's gonna be... Yeah. That's for the round. Holiday on the first set point here. Drive spy with the jump slash, or sorry, jump heavy. That hits behind robo-ky so widely. With the standard pressure, jump, or sorry, close slash, +1 into 5K. Here come the Ryutsus. The command dash into a grab attempt. Holiday not home though. Ryuchu is carded. If you're not gonna do anything, eventually she's gonna pounce. But now, will Bibah have an opportunity to bounce? I think we're just gonna get bounced out of the game here. 100 meter. Ooh, slam it with the dragon kick. And the RC, and the Ryutsui, and then looking for one more hit. One more counter hit would be good. One hit into conversion. Dragon kick into... Will it kill? Or more importantly, would Holiday burst? I mean, he kinda has to burst. Next hit is lethal. There it is. Simple as 4/5 heavy. Had the Segway cancel probably lined up there as well. Holiday with a very, very strong looking robo on day 4. GG's. Alright, that's definitely one for Team Robo. I mean, Team Robo definitely got on the board in the, in the mirror matches, but I think these ones are the ones that matter the most, right? The Team Robo versus Team Non-Robo, right? So next one, Detada robo-ky. This is... Initially, I didn't necessarily rank Detada like the highest robo-ky player of the week, but as it turns out, as we've had results from the rank mode, I think Detada is looking like one of the strongest robos of the evening. So this could be very, very dangerous for Radune Leo. I think Detada was one of the players who actually got Robo into Vanquisher in just a couple of days, which is something that a lot of like top-end content creators were able to achieve. I think I saw a lot of players taking robo-ky to Vanquisher at a top speed, like in a matter of day or even less. Some, I think some players even got him to like Vanquisher in a matter of hours, which is kind of like a showcase of how much sort of explosive day one simple potential you can have from the offensive game of this character. Yes, the defense is quite rough. You only have universals to defend with. Yes, the neutral might not be as good as maybe like some other top-end neutral characters of the game, but the pressure, the aggression, the oppression, when you are on the driver's seat, oh baby, yes! Clank it up. Probably one of the most explosive characters on when he's on the offense, robo-ky. Now, this character Leo does have some defensive capabilities for sure. The wielder of one of the best DPs in the game, the S flash kick. Speaking of flash kick, we are probably gonna see some of that from Radune in just a couple of frames. Cue it up! Boom shakalaka! Do we have the punish? Oh, unfortunately, Detada not quite expecting it, or like overshooting the close slash punish a little bit. Backs off on the mat. There we go, hard knockdown because that was a level 3 Segway. In the corner, yeah, tried to run the basic Oki. Oh, look at that whip punish! The whip punish with the fire slash. This is the high level Robert Kyle. This is the real deal probably. And the reaction with the 2P, not even a throw. Detada. Is this a match made in heaven? Is this a Bedman player soon to be robo-ky main? Stops them with the 5k. 5k from Robo, we haven't seen that button too much tonight yet, but 5k is a very interesting button. On the like front side, it kind of looks like a standard 5k. Nothing special, reaches decently far, but it's only -2 on block. So it's a really interesting button for pressure. Ooh, wait for the burst. Tap to the 5D. Yeah, that's lights out. Detada, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be like this. We're probably gonna see all of the available robo tools utilized. We're gonna see Pony. We're gonna see Guard Crush. We're gonna see clean fundamentals with punishes. Everything. The whole kit. And once again, at a perfect distance, takes a one step back from the mat and strikes. Yeah. And as long as you get the second hit from the Segway, that is the electricity building juicer that you always want. Not the first hit. The first hit is gonna spend. It's actually slightly unfortunate if in like wall break situations and what have you, if you only connect the first hit, because then you spend and not gain. But if the second hit comes through, it's always good. It's gonna recharge your resources. Here comes Radune. I wonder, I've heard some interesting stories about Leo's Sonic Boom versus... Ooh. Waits for the DP, but you know Radune Leo RPS. Wait a little bit, 2D. Catch them delaying their option. But like I was saying, I've seen some interesting interactions from when these two characters' projectiles collide. Especially the level 3 missiles and the heavy Sonic Boom from Leo. I think there's some black magic where some missiles can maybe break through sometimes. I'm not exactly sure how it works. But it probably has something to do with like how you know in ACPR where Robo's like missile, it has to break into the smaller cluster of missiles so that it can actually go on. If it meets another projectile, then the clustering will not happen, or rather will not happen. But in this game, it actually does happen, like no matter what. And so the cluster of small missiles can have like almost like a mind of their own and scatter into the distance. Ooh, nice check there. And the timing, unfortunately, Radune trying to hold Detada in the corner, but the maximum movement speed of the Segway taking him out and then taking him in with the pony mix-ups. 1 to 5 hits of overheads into a low. Such a demonic combination. You don't wanna hear those words in that order ever when discussing a fighting game character's pressure. Known a couple of these motherfuckers on my career, or like during my career. And it's always a very, very tough kind of character to defend against. I mean, technically Ino can do the same thing, but it's very much like Exert Sin to me. Sin my beloved. It's actually the GGST robo-ky has a lot of like Exert Sin sort of flavoring. Into the mix-up. Yep, have the burst here if you want to still fight. Good check. I think Detada was trying to go tap 5D from a K button, which can be interrupted, but can't quite get value further. But yeah, I think it's kind of like a natural evolution of Sin, because robo-ky wasn't in Exert, while Sin was. So Sin is kind of like I feel like a lot of players feel that Exert Sin was the spiritual successor of XX robo-ky, and now GGST robo-ky is kind of like spiritual successor of his own legacy. But very different from Strive Sin, of course. Because Strive Sin is very different from Exert Sin, if that makes sense. Nice IBFD there, completely pushing Radune out of the pressure string. Ooh, trying to go for the big Hail Mary frame trap, but Detada staying patient and not biting into it. Stole Sin's fault? Absolutely. Abso-freaking-lutely. And the jump slash for robo-ky here is literally Sin's jump heavy from Exert. The multi-hitter into mix-up. Yeah, Segway into Matt, since we did have the level 3 Segway on board. Guard Crush. Ooh, nice not reaction, nice read here from Radune. Jumping out of the command grab and then leaping again into the missile, unfortunately. But yeah, that's basically the RPS. From the Guard Crush, the most common options, Close Slash and the Shocker command grab. If you think the opponent is respecting, you use the Shocker. If you think the opponent does anything else, you use Close Slash. And of course, all Guard Crush conditions and terms apply. AKA, it's bleak, it's fucked up, it's absolutely demonic. And all you can hope to do is hold the FD. I think FD in general is like pretty strong against robo-ky, because like you just want him out of your face as much as possible. Oh, the DP works. That's definitely one option that you can present against the Guard Crush, or rather post Guard Crush. Let's counter hit. That's probably gonna be all she wrote for this round. Detada not showing any signs of slowing down. In fact, going into overdrive, starting the 5K again. Testing waters with that button. Definitely a nice button if you think the like one of Leo's forward lunging moves is gonna come out. From the pony. Into decent amount of corner carry, the delay between the 2D and the lucky launcher. 6 heavy, that's that's wall stick, and I think we're gonna spend all of it. This is so much electricity. This kills, right? Yeah. I think on Leo, guts, and defense, that super might have not killed if Detada chose to not burn all of the electricity. But since you can, you might as well. And increase the damage of that super. One of my favorite things, actually, if you get a wall break like that or wall stick like that, clean throw once again. It's the normal into the turbulence cancel, which Detada has been throwing consistently, showing that he's basically on board for how the Leo matchup is played at its perfection. But yeah, one of my favorite things of the wall stick is if you have 100 meter, the electricity doesn't even matter. You first queue up the install super, and since the install super gives you infinite level 3 or maximum level 3, you go into your super, and it does the maximum hits, and it does a shit ton of damage. Basically Robo's variation of the 100 meter cash out, I want to say, which a lot of characters have gotten recently, and I freaking love that. Ow! Waiting for the burst. Not quite ready to burst yet. There it is! There it is! Second time's the charm, as the saying goes. Takes out the mat as well and queues up the 5D perfectly. That's not an easy link, by the way. Whoa! Okay. Okay, Detada. Okay, counter poking with the 5D. I haven't actually seen the hitbox of that thing, but it might be akin to like May 5D, considering how Detada used it here. Might have like decent amount of reach. I do know that it doesn't quite reach as far as the animation suggests, but it might have a pretty protected hurt box, maybe. Okay, got him. Into overhead. God, it's just so oppressive. This absolute perfect marriage between Detada and robo-ky have not given Radune like any opportunity to play. What is this? This is like Raven. This is like Sin from Exert. This is like all of the jump, best jump mix-up characters. It's kind of like Eno. You got all of those characters poured into one, and then mixing it up. 2D hits, finds the target. He's unstoppable. Right, nice whip punish there with the lariat. Let's see if Radune, again the lariat, finds the target, but not a lot of rewards out of that. There we go, this is the Radune I know. Boss frames, chases it down with the Berserker Slash. Finally some good Leo footage. But look at this, look at this movement, look at this neutral Detada piloting the Robert K. Kylington to absolute perfection. The segue, RC, this will break the wall. Not quite the kill yet. A decent amount of resources, actually recharges maximum amount of battery from the break as well. Here comes the lariat again. In back turn, unfortunately, trades out of it. Radune not quite out of it yet. The parry strike misses the target. Here comes the flash kick. Detada still has the burst, wants to finish it right here, right now. Level 1. So we are at the weakest that robo-ky can ever be. Catches them. Oh no, 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 no. So close. The limp missile. Reflects it. Reflects it again. Who is it? It's Detada with the limp missile, the level 1 missile. That's actually kind of like a funny interaction because it's like if you are firing the air missiles, it's probably actually a like an advantage that it has the flaccid angle and it goes down, because like you don't want to overshoot with it, and the opponent will probably chase you down if you are airborne like that. So ends up clipping Radune with the missile. I was wondering if one of the robo-kys today would like use a sequence like that. Oh my goodness, he is good with that character. Basically showing glimpses of what is to come, what is in our near future when these robo-ky players start to get really good on the character. Right, one more robo-ky match. Robo piloted here by none other than Will. What is going on with this picture though? Wait. Huh? Can somebody tell me what's going on in the in like HiWill's profile picture? So there's an afro, and then the head, and then what move is this? Is Robo holding the head? What am I looking at? What is this pose? This is like a mystery pose. Maybe taunt? Oh, you're out. You might be onto something here. That might actually be. Yeah, that would make sense. Considering it doesn't look like any of the normals that I've encountered during robo-ky play. Might be a taunt. Might be a taunt. It kind of looks like he's cleaning it. That's kind of cool. Will is one of those players who usually loves trying to take a new DLC for a spin, at least for a little bit of time, at least until Bounty Hunters. The opponent today from the Finnish fighting game community, Niemi. Representing those grappler fundamentals. A lot of aggressive characters today. I think like Potemkin kind of stands out as a different kind of aggressive from the rest of the cast of the evening. We got all sorts of gorillas like Jam, Leo, Soul in the next game. And this one's gonna be Grappler versus Robotics. Ooh, let me get into the match. Ooh, saved. Just in the nick of time. him with a hug. This is how the best Potemkin runs usually start. One more. Ooh, goes for the hard read. But Will was actually respecting there. The third scoop would have actually gotten him if Niemi just went for the command grab. But that's where the mind game is. The purest form of fighting game mind game right here with the grappler mindset. The character archetype that basically forces you to guess. Can't rely on the good the option that is usually like the okay, let's just chill and wait. The block, the good old block. Wowee! Niemi churning the Buster, switching sides straight out of Will's mix-up, basically saying, hey, I don't think you got the execution on the day 4 Robo. Which is honestly respectable point of view. I would probably do it as well. It's like you gotta earn it before you get to mix me up. Alright, that's gonna be a punish. Clean, simple 2K 2D into the mat. That's charging Will mighty big amount of electricity. Wowee, throws out a 6 heavy, and that actually landed. I think the 2 heavy projectile for robo-ky is probably like a decent thing against maybe like grappler jumps, because you often have like double jumps, slow kind of arcs that are hard to challenge. But because 2 heavy is a projectile, it doesn't really care like what kind of hitbox is coming. Out of the corner, straight into counter hit, segue. Will opens it up as well. There's the projectile. I'm actually surprised the 2 heavy projectile didn't connect there. Alright, multi-hits, hitting Niemi out of the armor. Tries to go for the naughty Buster again, but we are riding that pony into the sunset, into the right corner. Ooh, got a hit with the 2S and then cancel into the pony. Will staying very tricky here. Again, the multi-hits. Catching Niemi out of the Buster break, or sorry, the Hammerfall break. Alright, just backing away, calmly into the neutral game. No whip punish there. Will was already at the mindset to just get me out of here. I don't want to stand next to this grappler. From what I've seen so far is the 5 heavy from Robo is, oh, nice, I like that. The 2D dive. However, can't quite pick up on that. Can't quite capitalize, and Niemi going for the long-range grappler throw here. Right, full electricity. And Niemi is trying to break through, and the Hammerfall break is absorbing single hits from Will. The problem is Will is aggressively canceling into more hits. The /5 heavy sequence has gotten Niemi quite a number of times. I think if you follow through with just your Hammerfall, that should power through most of the time. Because it has like the strike from Hammerfall without any cancel starts up way faster than the Hammerfall break. Ah, I recovered in time! Whoa! Okay. It is a projectile. It is a projectile after all. It's a very interesting move for robo-ky. Basically functions exactly as the XX iteration missile, the 2 heavy that he had, I think. Right, just a knockdown into the corner with the Garuda. Yeah, Will is awake, doesn't let Niemi just Hammerfall break in there just like that. Without consequence, there we go, waiting for it. I think Will is definitely a perceptive player. He's checking out that Niemi Niemi likes that Hammerfall break so much. He's actually just respecting, waiting for it, targeting it with his strikes. Ah, surgical instant air dash again. It's exactly the kind of response that you need against the slide head. Mixing it into jump D. I wonder what kind of follow-up situations you can do with the jump D. Trying to create a sandwich, but wait, it expires! The new Potemkin nerves! Past patch, that mirror would have definitely kept traveling. Because they nerfed the amount it travels, Will barely surviving with his life there. Yeah, we got the punish. No mat here, just switching positions. I kind of like this. Yeah, there we go. The two heavy missile catching the grappler, double jump RPS. That's what I was thinking. This character might be... Is this character good into Potemkin? Look at that. And the fast instant air dash into the far-raging jump heavy as well. I think robo-ky might be cooking against Potemkin. Into, blocks with the mat, switching sides, and the jump heavy hits from all angles possible. There we go, Will taking the lead. After taking one game loss, pumping it up, and pumping it hard.
Mankind. Duel 1. Let's rock.
There we go, that was a very late 2 heavy missile as well, but it probably trades really well in Robo's favor. Miss with the 6p cancel. So the 6p on grounded opponent is kind of dangerous. If you try to combo it into the segue, I think it has to counter it, otherwise like it's just gonna put you next to the opponent and give them a punish basically. I got some command grabs as well. This time just lets it rock. But unable to fight out of the corner, Will staying really tight and tapping with the 5D here to finish the round. Yet another standard tool. Ooh, was a big 6 heavy pushing Will into the corner. However, Will recognizes that setup is not tight. We're gonna just go with the cuckoo clock. The what kind of noise does a cuckoo clock make? All of the P, like the 5P and the 2P buttons, make like really funny noises for robo-ky. I love it. Here comes Niemi with the combo, with the mix-up. It's gonna be Buster, and probably makes you feel good as well. Especially on the last hit. Oh, that's gonna be a punish though. That was a Hail Mary for Niemi with 0 burst resources to spend. Didn't get punished too badly. I think there was maybe like a disconnect there on the combo choice department for Will. No cancel. However, Niemi was not hitting a button either. Yeah, the non-cancelled 2D for Robo is quite minus, extremely minus in fact. Check them with the 2P. Sorry, is it too heavy? Missed it. Probably a little bit too far away to land the shocker. Yeah, right reaction there. Ooh, cancelled into the segue, producing another hit there. And let's see how much electricity does Will have. This might actually break the wall. Check this out. Not quite, so close. With a couple more electricity, that might have actually been a wall break. This is like the second Robo player this week, I think, who tries to sort of take advantage of that feature that when you spend electricity on the super, the cash out super, it just pushes them so far away. It increases the hit just so much that you have really good wall breaking capabilities. Good 6p there, breaks out of the far slash. And holds the flick just right. Just right to get the reflect. I love it. When you set up the mat so that you land on it from your mix-up as well, it sort of refunds most of the... Wait, what? Where the jump slash going? Hello? What? Why did it go left? I don't even know. Ishiwatari, please. Speaking of going into wrong directions, or maybe right directions, depending on your point of view here, Niemi switching it up. What? Will breaking out of the corner. We still have the burst available, even though electricity is quite low. Doesn't matter. The normals are still gonna be as impressive as ever. I think that's like one big change between the XX Robo and the GGST Robo is that you don't really have heat gauge anymore. Oh, Will sees that. You don't have the heat gauge anymore, which would usually affect like the potential of your normals as well. But since you don't have that anymore, they're always at their full potential. Trying to go for a sneaky too heavy from downtown. Go slash counter hit, that should take the game. Will definitely has the momentum here. 4-1. Another top seed opponent piloting that. Robert Kyle. Very nicely, very nice. Is the stride here. Ooh, that was a nice air projectile. I mean, you can kinda, depending on your spacing, you can guide the missile so that it doesn't go into the hitbox area of the flick. Because that has been historically like what you can do against Potemkin. Like Ino, for example, loves to do that a lot. And I think since Will has been an Ino player in the past, should be kind of like familiar with that concept. Probably. It's not quite as easy to like control as with Ino, who you can like steer your note with freely. Oh, the deep dash into 2S. Into command grab. And then pump it up, BRC, reduces the efficacy of the combo, it's okay. We're breaking the wall, and Will now in a really nice position. Niemi, it's a lot of plus frames going with the heat tackle when the opponent is airborne. Close slash, counter hit, what can we cook? Guard crush, the original kind, goes for a throw a little too early, I think, was way too plus. 6 heavy into like a simple heat tackle cancel. Niemi needs one more touch, but again, Will with the march forward into the multi-hit 2S. Speaking of multi-hit, wait a minute, multi-hit. Isn't that the feature that you want to have against Potemkin? The multi-hit, there we go! Ask and ye shall receive immediately. Putting on showcase what that move can do. Multi-hitting normals are very good against Potemkin. Historically. The downside is that I think the 2S for Robo has only 4 active frames. And technically you would have to hit Potemkin on the 2 earlier active frames if you want to actually produce both of the hits, right? And it has a lot of recovery as well, so it's definitely not a counter poke without its faults or flaws, if you will. Come at me. I've got a charging station right here. Niemi's like, okay, bro, be right there. But overshoots it a little, puts himself into the corner, and Will showing absolutely no remorse. For the overshooting maneuvers. Here we go. Is there no stopping Will's momentum? Yeah, no profile there. Niemi has found the 6 heavy. I hate that button. I hate that button with a passion. There we go, whiff punish. I think Robert Kyle is probably pretty good at whiff punishing that move though, because 5 heavy reaches so far, and you have a lot of time to whiff punish Potemkin 6 heavy as well. So it might be like, even though you might not get like the most lucrative whiff punish, I mean it is 5 heavy into Segway, at least. A Segway. So that's something, and it does give you a hard knockdown and basically gets your Oki started and gives you electricity and does your taxes and everything. Ooh, nice whiff punish here from Niemi's side though. I tried to break out of the hammerfall at the wrong moment. Not able to absorb hits. Here comes Will again. The jump slash multi-hit converting into the command grab. Electricity looking good. No cancel. Danger is dangerous, but Niemi Could be unfamiliarity with the matchup, or just the pace of the match hasn't been checking those 2Ds uncancelled. Here's the cash out. Let's see the live situation. Yeah, it's gonna be an easy kill, even without electricity. Just a basic standard amount of damage. Break the wall. Business as usual. Casually run through the mat. Will was actually standing on the mat for quite a while there, so perfectly placed. Yeah, speaking of standing on it, takes Will to level 2. Strategically backing off from Potemkin 6 heavy range. You want to make that whiff if possible. Otherwise, you're technically in like RPS-ish kind of situation. Ooh, didn't commit to the jump fully. Niemi has the meter. Pressure still goes on. Trade maybe in Niemi's favor still. PRC, however, Niemi is already queuing up the throw. And the PRC was so late, I think that was probably not premeditated.
Mankind knew that.
Niemi not quite ready to give up just yet. On the hunt. We could still make the comeback. This is a very explosive character after all. Just a couple of good RPS reads, like so, that you're gonna need. Look at the spacing. The grappler that played neutral footsies with the rest of the cast. Absolutely nutty. Who let him do that? Who let him cook? Who allowed grapplers to be these good neutral pokers? Into Garuda? Yeah, with the standard guess for your life, kind of a mix-up. Ooh, with the 2K, I think again catching the hammerfall break frame. You have to be like really precise here if you want to have your hammerfall break actually still absorb a hit, right? There's a period where it does, but there's a period where it doesn't as well. First to convert with the 6K. White disengages with the jump D from the jumped in string. Tries the whip punish. Goes very deep, but the 2S is a little too short. The 5 heavy doesn't quite reach. And here's the whip punish. Whip punish on the Robert Kyle 5 heavy from Niemi's side. Exactly the counter, like these two tools kind of counter each other so well. If you whiff on Robo, it recovers for such a long period of time that even like Potemkin slow revving 6P has an opportunity to whiff punish it somewhat. Right, well-timed gold burst. No whiff punish attempts this time. Activating. Okay, this is a long install. Let's see what we can do. Misses the pickup. Can we still take advantage of it? Level 3 launcher, into command grab, RC, into explosion. That was good. That was kind of good. I think Will was forced to take the RC there because if he lets the command grab rock, he's gonna just explode as OTG, I believe, which is no bueno. Very expensive, but we got the job done. Need one more hit though. Niemi potentially in the same situation because this character is so explosive. Dangerous. Deflect shield. Good. 6P. Good. All stars aligning for Will. It's like Uncle Roger. 6P. Good. Good. Correct. Jumps over the projectile. That's gonna be a punish though. Sets up the mat. Can't quite cross up here if you go for the mat. I think would need like what should we call it? Like a dash jump over. Oh, and revs up that fully charged 5D. Are you not ready to react? From the skies, not the worst mix-up for sure. Jumps out of the command or the hammerball pressure. Activated again. How many seconds is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's like 20 meters around 1 second, so the full install would be around 5 seconds. OTG not quite enough. Potemkin is a heavy boy. Look at that explosion of the missile. You thought, I thought, probably Niemi thought as well that it would whiff, but whiff it does not. Probably some of the most value out of the knee rocket that we've seen this evening for basically all the matchups so far. No cancel. Cancels this time into the bluff. I mean, the mat cancel is kind of dangerous as well. But now we have the juice. If we can get in there, definitely gets in there with the instant air dash. Activating again. Doon, doon, doon. What is this move called? Like star-crossed lovers, something lovers, risky lovers? Risky lovers sounds right. Explosion. Soon needs to go to neutral state, but I don't think there's a punish. Yeah, there's no punish. A little bit of self-damage. But you have to be there or you are a square. Misconfirmed there. Will not quite able to fight out of the corner. And Niemi happily holding down the fort. Not giving the opponent any quarter at this point as one... Ooh, I hate that. I hate that so much. Why is Potemkin 6 Heavy so good at catching the instant air dash? You would have to do like super jump air dash or like instant airs or something like that to be able to avoid it. It's so good. And here comes Will. With the level 3 missiles, pulling Niemi back onto the ground with massive frame advantage. 6p, correct. Command grab, correct. Command grab, also correct. And a kill. No way to burst out of this, even if Will was somehow able to build the tail end of the burst. This is gonna break your back. 4-6. The dream is still alive. The comeback might be valid, feasible, even, correct. Ooh, I thought that was a good move here, but Niemi, like telekinetically grabbing Will out of the landing recovery somehow there. Absolutely demonic. Waiting for the burst. Good delay. Burst delay, correct. And then, no cancel on the 6 heavy. You can go into Hammerfall if you wish to introduce some amount of RPS, or go into the slight head, that works as well. There we go with the whiff punish. Look at how simple that was. When you're ready for it, when you're waiting for it. The 6 heavy, or sorry, the 5 heavy is such a good tool for Robo. Multi-missiles, activate. I think it does not charge while your install is active. Ooh, but that was a really valued flick there. Not only was HiWill at a chip damage range, but completely negating the massive amount of frame advantage that Will would have gotten. Because the level 3 missiles are basically a neutral skip. If you fire them full screen and run after them, you are absolutely in. Looking almost that level 3. So close, but not quite. There we go. Bouncing out of the corner. RC into. We could go very high up on electricity. Just a basic glow slash frame trap string. Should be a kill. And Niemi smartly holding onto the burst resource, taking it to the last round. Bursting there would have been incorrect, and cringe, as we say in the industry. Yo, command grabbing out of the... But of course, I mean, you can normal throw out of Hammerfall as well, so why not command grab as well? Ding, ding, ding. Make whatever those creatures are, make them run. Run the engine. Explosion imminent. And Niemi with a very aggressive burst. Can we keep Robo in there? The level 3 missile. Tries to whiff punish. Here we go. The dash. 5 heavy out of the corner. But Niemi is spending all of the juice in order to keep Will in there. 6 heavy whiff. Basically saying whiff punish this. Right, he's out. And he's in. Again? Or is he? Or is he? 5B, anti-air, nice conversion. Bong, bong, bong. Doing. If he completes this combo, it kills. But on the other hand, ooh, this can't self-kill. So even if this would knock you down, it doesn't. But this will definitely knock you down. Oh boy. Will is definitely fishing for the stylish finish there, I think. But I think so far there is only so much knowledge when it comes to the Risky Lovers install super. We probably don't have all of the ins and outs of it. Oh, nice check there on the Hammerfall break. Punish on the full send as well. Give me battery. Gimme. Into mix up. Oh, I like that. I think Will steered backwards there a little, combined with Niemi also FTing. So we didn't leave him at command grab range. Dong, dong, bong. Just a couple of seconds. Oh, it's gonna get. I mean, it's gonna do more to yourself than Potemkin, but still value? Question mark. I'm not quite able to link the jump slash into close slash, but coming in with the second wave. Set point again. Maybe this time Will has to be careful not to let Niemi have too much what we call in the Finnish fighting game community the seema, the whatchamacallit, the string of the fishing pole is what we call when you let your opponent have a little bit of hope before reeling them in for the catch. Got them airborne, that should be plus for Niemi. Takes the burst, not the punish though. HiWill at a very low amount of health and basically virtually no electricity at all. At this point you would have to just take out the mat or find a connection to the Segway. Waiting for the burst. Niemi holding on to it though. Burst time? Still no. I kind of love it. Niemi's like, okay, I'm just gonna call your bluff, and basically understanding his defensive modifier. There was no need to burst there whatsoever yet. But maybe on the next hit. Whose hit is gonna be? It's Niemi! Oh my goodness, so close to tying it up, or rather tying it up. For the first time since the second game of the set, I think. Niemi started with one, then it was basically HiWill's Robo Show. Robo Rock, if you will. Bong, bong, bong. 5 seconds of level 3. Ready to go. So many boss frames. Got them initially. Explosion imminent. Is that gonna... Ooh, okay. There is enough disjoint there for on Potemkin's 5 heavy to actually not push yourself into the explosion. Oh no! Harurara! Running the Arimakinen! The horsey goes nowhere! Oh, but he got it! He still got it! Anti-air reaction with the 5B. That should be it, right? Yeah, just a quick 1-2 into heat extend. 6-6, ladies and gentlemen. Is it gonna be another one for Team Robo? Or is the team whatchamacallit, Bozo Sapiens gonna claim one this time around? Alright, the trade definitely in Will's favor. See, was the one landed, or grounded rather that time. Was that level 1 horsey again? That thing just moves basically nowhere. Let's go for the reversal gold burst. Breaks out of the corner. It did cost a little bit. At what cost? I think the cost is enough. It's warranted. There we go. Niemi punishes the 2D that was not cancelled for the first time in the set. It's a little bit tricky if you're used to like standard 2K 2Ds. from the rest of the cast. Some of them are actually safe, and some of them like it's like a Robo. It's really different kind of situation for Robo. You almost always probably want to pump with the Lucky Launcher. But for some reason, it's been a little difficult. Like, if you're trying to hit confirm it, maybe you're trying to, like, look for the segue. But, I mean, hit, block, it doesn't matter. The Lucky Launcher is always, like, pretty okay as long as you're in range. Uh-oh. Getting back thrown into a very dangerous situation, but the trusted old 5-frame 5B got Will's back, but on the other hand, the good old 6 heavy from Niemi's Potemkin. 100 in the tank. Nothing to use it on though. Can't reversal with it. Can YRC though. Which is what we're gonna go for here. Another 5B. Tries to bait the burst. Niemi not quite ready. Is it burst time? No burst time? Actually waiting for the perfect moment here. Making Will corner himself with the segue. The sandwich. Ooh, perfect. One more hit. And Will secures the game. That was looking mighty dangerous. Niemi was trying to create the signature sandwich with the Gigantor-kai. But Will had none of that. I think because the corner was there, there's like a little gap between when the Gigantor actually reaches you and when you cross the opponent and come down from the sky, where the opponent can actually press. I mean, usually you don't want to press because then you get pushed into the mirror, but throw? Throw seems good. Throw? Correct. All right, we've reached our last matchup of the evening, which is gonna be a good old Bozo Sapiens match. No Robo here, but these are two of the highest seeded players of the evening. Charvos and how do you pronounce Oxa? Oxa? Pardon my Finnish pronunciation on this one. So tempting to just say Oxa. Maybe it's Oxa. I thought I saw Charvos asking about character lock earlier, to which we say that Bounty Hunters is a character locked event on layer 1. So unless you've agreed upon it with your opponent beforehand, you're generally locked onto the character that you signed up with. So yeah, we're rather strict in that remark, or in that regard. For the idea for like my FT7 events has historically always been, let's try to give your opponent an opportunity to lap for a particular matchup. It was a little bit more achievable back in the day when we were bi-weekly, and you would have like at least 1 week to just pump out matches and learn the matchup of the character that was promised to you, or rather promised to you to face. And we kind of want to lean into that as much as possible, even though like in modern Bounty Hunters you don't have more than maximum of like 4 days. Like usually, best case scenario, the matchups are announced on Wednesdays. So it's like some of Wednesdays, then Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and then like half of Sunday, half of Wednesday maybe. So maximum 4 days of active playtime you could potentially muster. Not that much, but it's theoretically possible to like get a panic sparring partner and get a little bit of matchup information in there if you're feeling like the matchup that you've given is not one of your best ones. I'm so bad at imitating the tone of voice that Uncle Roger has. No MSG, hi. I don't have the Asian in me. Alright, we got our players locked and loaded. Locked and or loaded, potentially. Oxa on that Testament. And charvos rocking the Soul.
That they cannot change society.
It's been actually a while since we saw a Soul. Soul in like the what you call it, like the birth of Guilty Gear Strive was a very popular character, maybe even one of the most popular of them. But since Soul has been changed so many times, the Soul player base has been sort of regulating, like shifting, transforming. Ooh, the shimmy is here. And Oxa goes for the fuzzy throw at the perfect timing. It is gonna be a lot of this though. The prototype striker man, the punching man himself. He's gonna press those plus frames from close range, +3 from close slash, and plus what is it, +2 or +1 from far slash nowadays. The punish as well.
Duel 2. Let's rock.
Ooh, nice punish there. Not quite a true punish, but caught the tail end of Oxa trying to exit after the up 4 fireball. Yeah, the striking man's game. Ooh, a clean 6B, and luckily switches sides as well. Char was probably extremely happy about that. Well, out that the teleport in place, not only is the possession like potential RPS to teleport out of the corner, you could kind of like alter your air momentum a little bit and maybe catch your opponent whipping some sort of ground to air or air to air. Clean air throw. In the past, that would have given Voodoo Doll. Ooh, and that's actually a kill. Nice. Nice. It's been a while since we'd had like a mega high level Testament player on the show. Especially cool to see now that Testament has like changed. I mean, Testament themselves hasn't changed, but the nature of the nature of combat, the nature of engagement, the war has changed. The war has changed greatly going into season 4. The patience from Oxa just waits there. Did she just know that the DP was gonna come out? I mean, we are still. Oh yeah, that's a safe jump. Safe jump, correct? We are like at like basically the first game of the set, so it's probably a pretty good opportunity to collect some information. And what better way to collect information than to pressure your opponent and then suddenly just end your pressure and see if they want to go wild with the Abare or a DP. The neutral jump shimmy. Being patient. Ooh, teleporting out of the dunk range. Bandit Bringer is a sort of tricky tool to deal with in a way that it's hard to challenge. I'm not sure if even Testament 6B, as good as it is, I'm not sure if their 6B is like good enough to cleanly beat Soul out of the Bandit Bringer consistently. So more often than not, you would like to, like if it's the air version, you would rather just block it as close as possible, but otherwise like maybe just make it whiff and don't bother with it. Teleport RPS gets out of there and dash forward 2S. Beautiful maneuvering from Oxa. Absolutely beautiful. Ooh, yeah, that's the other side of the flip, other flip of the side of the other coin of the flip of the side of the thing. When Soul just gets you with the BP with a counter hit and converts. We do have the marker in there. Clean air throw. Sent Crow a little early there, but I don't think Oxa could like delay that Crow that much. Because the marker was just about to explode. Or rather expire. You know who else is gonna explode? Well, I guess Charvos. Or maybe not. But that's gonna fall straight into counter hit punish. That's the risk of trying to obsession. Oh, no, not obsession. That's a very scary movie, by the way. That's the cost of trying to possession in place. If the opponent doesn't actually bite and whiff anything, you're gonna fall straight into a counter hit punish and landing recovery, I believe. Gold first, correct. And we have a marker there as well. However, the new blue burst global range there prevents Oxa from getting in and personal and getting a punish. Safe jump, tries to convert into a throw. Charvos on the right Yomi layer. Dash in. Yep, deflect shield, correct. That sends the grappler flying. Or not the grappler, but the brawler. Ooh, but Charvos has been really dangerous from this striking distance. Really sticky and like on a character such as Testament, especially since they nerfed Testament's like 2K low profile frames, it's even more difficult for them to get out of the super strong pressure. Nice 5p anti-air from Charvos. Drop them in the corner. Some messed up shit coming. No, just basic close slash. Building that risk. And wall break inbound. Yes. New combo routing, good. Sidewinder, correct. Charvos on board as well. I mean, oh, nice! The jump slash catches Charvos with a pretty decent amount of damage from the combo as well from Oxa. Teleport to the other side. Check them with the low. Oh, that's a aggressive ass dash. And a clean scoop out of the sky. Here comes the safe jump. However, as soon as you're landed, then you definitely get opportunities to potentially DP even more for Sol. Safe disengagement there once again. Possessing the marker far away from Sol. Ooh, but that's a counter hit. Damage inbound. Sidewinder into 100-meter cash out. That ought to be it. Yeah, Testament is not necessarily the toughest of the bunch. Charvos spilling blood in the water. Converting with the flashy stuff. That was cool. Micro stutter there, making Oxa whiff a throw, and then going for a throw of their own. Waiting for the burst. Not quite time for Oxa to burst just yet. The Yomi layer works out. The gold burst does give Oxa some pretty needed value. Calamity 1. The close slash not well timed enough for it to be a safe jab. Other than once again. I really dig this like RPS between these players. It's kind of like both players going airborne while the Succubus marker is on the board. Oxa basically saying, okay, if you BB, I'm gonna react to it with a possession and get out of there so that I don't have to deal with any of that. Into a position where you have a lot of real estate and you can restart your zoning game again. Heavy into set up the marker. It's been particularly difficult for Oxa to get the curse on. Ooh, well-placed 6S. The original, the OG GGST beak driver, if you will.
Duel 2.
Not quite as absurd button that it was in the vanilla version. Plays on the same on the same layer. Nice jump K from Oxa out of the instant air dash. Now we're pressuring. There we got the curse. And the trigger. There we go. Finally some stain value. Let's celebrate. Come on, girls. triggering. That's a lot of frame advantage. I think you can still get a safe jump there with Testament against 9-framers. If memory serves correctly. Maybe. Solid maybe. The burst bait Yomi layer once again. Has to go for it. I love Ox's like RPS on the bursts. She has been able to get out almost all of them. Now Charvos will potentially have to think about bursting. Are we gonna try to steal this and end it right here? Or are we just gonna play it safe? Clean dash, even with solo movement speed, moves into the position to swipe the air with the surgical 6S. Jump straight into the crow here. A nice conversion as well. This time no possession. Instead chose to go for the air fireball, which does extend your hurt box quite a bit. I think all of the Grim Reapers or the Grave Reapers have been tuned to a point where they are quite interactable, both on the ground as well in the air. Now let's see the Zoki from Charvos. So the delayed dunk there. Activating the Air Jordans and then stomping the ground. Ooh, Oxa was getting really frisky there. Charvos says no, 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 no. 30% of your life. And then some. Could be an early burst. There we go, finally! Charvos finding some value with those early burst baits. It's been a long time coming, but looking like the RPS pendulum is swinging Charvos' way finally. Okay. Not quite getting over the Grave Reaper that time. The flames still... Through the fire and flames we go. We ride. Nice angle there. The instant airback dash works out for... I think... I'm not sure if Oxa had a Succubus marker out, but I think there was no teleporting out of the corner that time.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Falling straight into the fire. Nice aggressive dash into 2K2D, set up the marker, trigger it with the 5B anti-air. Potentially waiting for a burst here, but both players have been very patient, waiting it out, willing to check if the opponent wants to go for an early burst bait. This time just cashes out. Interesting bait. I wonder if that would have actually dodged Volcanic Viper there, if Charvos decided to go for one. It's the Bandit Bringer that recovers faster this time around. No way out. And now the jump case still hits. That's so much respect from Charvos. Even though Soul is a character that is, I mean, the Soul player base is known for their wild tendencies, yet still, Charvos has been like very patient and respectful when they need to be. Which is, I think, correct. Like having good amount of variance between like your tendencies. Sometimes you turn on the heat, sometimes you're chilling it up, sometimes you're playing really passively. And sometimes you're all in, baby! That's why it's so hard to predict when the opponent is going all in, when like half of your plays are gonna be like super conservative. Hey, that's fighting games. That's fighting games 101 for you. Charvos at the tail end of their HP bar. There we go. Oxa plays it very safe, trying to gauge for some sort of mistake, and finally finding the angle that Charvos just can't really challenge very easily. Getting the first spectator DC of the event here. I think the players did notice. Let's see if we can salvage this still. winner stays. I think we're gonna send back out as well. So lucky us, not gonna lose any footage here on the last matchup of the evening on Bounty Hunters. It's been quite the robo event. But looking like we are gonna have one non-robo nail biter still ahead of us. We barely scraped the surface of the mid game here. Okay, from a 3-4 situation here, Charvos 1 game up against Oxa's Testament.
Duel 1. Let's rock.
Ooh, clean air throw. Actually so clean that the server is having difficulties containing itself. You good? Right, resuming. Oxa has been really good at getting those reversal gold bursts in there. It is one of those things. Oh, tried to go for a very aggressive burst as soon as possible to try to contain Oxa in the corner, but she shall not be contained. Should work. Yep. Calamity 1, correct. Against the slow recovering Meaty. Throwing out of the Fafnir, are you kidding me? That is sexy. I would be too scared to do that. Waiting for the DP, doesn't quite get the punish, but second wave of RPS reads, gets the air throw into corner pressure. Once again, these little pauses in Ox's pressure. She's gauging for probably leveraging the potential DP. Finally finds it. Waits for the burst. Backwards drift RC. Charvos doesn't have a lot of time to go for it soon. I mean, don't get me wrong, there it is. Don't get me wrong, Charvos did get a lot of value from not going for it. Oxa did drop like a couple of combos that allowed you to have like a better, what should I call it? Put you in a better footing here. But eventually, you have to choose to pull the trigger or not on the last combo. And your options are very limited if you are on your last bit of your life bar. Even the 2K wasn't able to recover in time here for Charvos to bait the Calamity 1. Those defensive options have been working out for Oxa pretty damn well. Woo! Right, curse through the wall. This is a soft knockdown though. FRC, ooh, look at the backwards ass 6P! Working out for Charvos once again. You wouldn't think that the resident rushdown character has like one of the actual best 6Ps in the game, and I don't think we talk about Soul's 6P that much, but I think it's actually like it's damn brilliant in my opinion. It's really solid. It reaches far. It hits well. It has solid conversions, or rather stable conversions out of it. It's like all that you would ever want from a 6P. Nice, well placed 2S out of the corner. That's a counter hit. Let's see. So close to that 50 meter. The 50 meter is usually what you would like to have for conversions like that, I think, in order to bring your opponent in the corner. But now, I think this kills unless the Fafnir drops. Oxa still with a chance. We could potentially run it back. 2S prevents Charvos from running in. Curse. Yeah, but the Crow, even on hit, is, I think, not plus anymore. This is like one of the main changes of Testament's pressure from when moving between season 4 and season 5. Like a lot of their stuff just ain't that plus anymore in the pressure. Right, good conversion. B6B, can we can clash with the 5B? Oh my gosh. Taking the clash with the curse again. Yeah, makes sense. That was still okay trade for charvos. Actually, that was more than okay. That was brilliant. Because not only that allowed you to maintain your momentum, but that basically nullified the curse that was on him at the moment. Fast RC into checking out what's what. Charvos is potentially threatening to take this to a very uncomfortable situation for Oxa. 4-6. One just air throw out of the Bandit Bringer. That is clean. Another one. If I didn't know better, I would be betting money that Oxa has played Guilty Gear before. With the way that she's air throwing. Once again, on the chase. Even if you are a character with one of the best 6Ps in the game, still goes to show that you should definitely include all of your different anti-airs into your game plan. Because they have different functions, different angles, and all that. Super. Calamity 1. Correct. This is the more damaging super. Nostrovia does give you the curse at the end, but it is limited damage compared to Calamity 1. Great decision making. Double jump. Possession coming down with a very nice angle. Oh yes, because you can now steer. You can also steer on Possession. So Oxa was kind of steering herself out of the corner, and thus was able to drift out and get the jump K. But little did it do for her for Charvos. Full throttled from west coast to east.
Duel 1.
Making it 6-4 now. Oxa needs 3 in a row in order to still steal it back. The Heavy Reaper just barely ends up whiffing. Down to the flames as well. Reversal throw works out. Back off into a safe jump. Very good BB once again. Oxa has seen that before though. Not gonna bite into it once again. Sidewinder, goodness. And kind of have to RC there. Oh, tried to throw here. Another great Calamity 1. The RPS options are out of this world. Yo, that 6P still came out? Mamma mia. And a good trade in Charvos' favor. Set, point, Charvos. It's been basically back-to-back set up until we were like 4-4. And then the last sprint of momentum. Exactly when the doctor ordered Charvos with the far slash counter hit. Sidewinder into the next screen we go. Never mind, we're actually... Okay. Calamity 1, correct. Possession out of the corner. Correct. Oh, but has to burst here. Gets it out just in time. Charvos falls into the projectile. We could steal Possession. I think the marker has expired. That's not plus anymore. Possession into the skies. And taps the 5D. You can't see that unless you're some sort of absolute Adderall cracked zoomer at your prime time of your life. Taps him with a 20 frame overhead for the set victory. Charvos breaking out from the deadlock. What a great set. That was one of the more even sets of the evening. We've had a rocky ride today. There's been a lot of unknown factors. There is always a lot of unknown factors when making these week 1 exhibition events, when we still don't have a lot of data about the skill level of the players. But at least we were able to squeeze one rather steady, safe matchup in there, which was this last one between Oxa and Charvos. But that'll be that. And next week we might have an event. Maybe, baby. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're gonna have an event next week. I don't think we have anything planned with me and my wife. So if you want to play next week, potentially more robo gaming, wouldn't be opposed to seeing more of the DLC character developing. If you want to sign up, the Discord is open and the sign up forms are going to be posted in there as soon as we go offline. So thank you everybody for attending the robo-ky release event. It's been a pleasure. These are always fun ones to see what the community has been cooking so far. Some of y'all were absolutely cracked already. I'm scared. I'm so scared. But yeah, we'll see you again next Sunday, same time, same channel. Till then, keep honing that edgy clanker double katana set, and we'll see you then. Bye bye.